Yeah, what's up? It's me, Hard8times, the truth for YouTube, your favorite commentator's favorite commentator. Yeah, what's up, people? What's happening? You already know the deal. If you missed my last video, the link will be down below. Facebook group, gamer tags, all that good shit will be down below. So please go and check it out. Now, this is my review, my thoughts, my opinion, my impressions, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for Resident Evil 7. Now, I chose to do it this way because I didn't want to have no gameplay, because the game is pretty short, and having any type of gameplay, in my opinion, will ruin the game, because this is a spoiler-free review. You dig? This review is spoiler-free. So I didn't want to have any gameplay, because I actually looked at IGN's game review. I looked at GameSpot review, and they kind of ruined some things for me just by watching the review. There was things that I seen that I thought I would have rather been surprised by, but I just chose to do it this way. Plus, I'm getting a ton of questions on, is this game worth $60? Is it good? Should I get it? So I thought I'd just give you all a quick spoiler-free review. Now, for people that ain't got a lot of time, is it worth $60? No. Nah. This game is not worth $60 whatsoever. It's a pretty short game. You already got people setting world records, beating it in an hour and a half. It actually took me 8 hours to beat the game, but I was taking my time. I was really taking my time. But you can get this game from Redbox. It is at Redbox, and you can beat it in a single weekend. Easy. I don't think it's worth $60. Wait for a sale or something like that, but I don't think it's worth $60. Now, the basis of the story is you have a man named Ethan who has a wife that takes a babysitting job. She goes on this babysitting job and she never returns. 3 years later, he gets an email of her telling him to come get her or whatever like that, and he sets out on the adventure because he thought she was dead and all of that type of shit. So that's pretty much the basis of the story. You set out to get your wife back, and then all hell breaks loose. You dig? Now, I did say this is spoiler-free. You can see it in the title. Spoiler-free. Now, people want to know, is the game scary? In my opinion, it's okay. You know, the atmosphere in the game is great. The way that the house is built is awesome. But I wasn't too scary when I was playing it. You dig? I think I jumped maybe once. A little bit. You know, I'm a gangster, dog. I'm a fucking gangster. So I jumped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fucking Superman. You dig? So I jumped a little bit, but it wasn't too scary in my opinion. It was good though, but I was definitely on edge the whole time I was playing. So I was expecting jump scares and things like that. So I was on point, but it was all right. I played most of it at night with surround sound and all of that shit. So, you know, I didn't do it with headphones because I don't play any game with headphones. So I just had to go off what I had as far as audio. I got some pretty good audio going on here, but it wasn't that scary to me. I mean, some people scared to death, but they pussy. They pussy anyway. You know, they scared of their own goddamn shadow. They scared to cut their own goddamn birthday cake. So people like that, they probably were scared to death. But me, nah, I was all right. But I love the atmosphere, man. I think it's a good game. I think it was cool. You know, I enjoyed it. Does it feel like a Resident Evil game? Yes and no. You know, when you're doing certain things, it feel like a Resident Evil game as far as like, you know, managing your inventory and putting shit in the item box, taking shit out the item box, things like that. That gave you a little Resident Evil feeling. You dig what I'm saying? I didn't mind the first person at all. You know, it was cool. Like I said, I like the atmosphere of the house. I enjoyed the game. I definitely enjoyed the game. It's a very short game. I don't have any intentions to go back and play the game again. You know, I already looked up the other ending. I got the good ending the first time. I already done looked up the bad ending. It's really not much different, just a little bit of dialogue change and something here and there, but it ain't, I didn't feel like it's worth me playing through the game again. One of the downfalls of the game is that they only have about 4 different enemy types, 4 different creatures or whatever like that. There's absolutely no zombies in the game. There's absolutely no zombies in the game, but they got about 4 different creatures, man. If I ain't mistaken, I don't even want to name the creatures or describe them because that would ruin the game for you. You understand what I'm saying? But they got about 4 different creatures in the game, and that's it. The variety on the creatures is pretty minimum. You know, the boss fights was cool. Sometimes you might not know exactly if you're doing damage to the boss because there's no health bar, but you are. You know, whether you're stabbing, slashing, shooting, or some shit like that, keep at it until that motherfucker stop moving. You understand what I'm saying? I think the puzzles in the game was pretty good. They weren't too hard. They're not too frustrating or anything like that. You might get stuck a little bit here and there, but if you just work with it, you know what I mean, just take your time, you'll figure it out. A lot of the puzzles is like just common sense. You understand what I'm saying? There's a little bit of backtracking. There's going to be some backtracking. Of course, it's Resident Evil. You're going to be going from one side of the house to the other side of the house, back and forth. You already know how it is. You get to a certain area, you get a new key. You're like, oh, yeah, this key matches the door I passed way back in the main hallway some goddamn where. So, you know, you're going to do your backtracking. It's Resident Evil. But it's not too bad. It's definitely not too bad. What else can I say about this game, keeping it spoiler free? This game, I played it on PS4, of course, in HDR, so it was very dark. And playing it in HDR hides how bad the textures are in this game. This game got some very low quality, shitty textures. I don't know if people notice this shit, but you already know I notice. I'm that attention to detail type of dude. You feel me? And I guess they had to cut some corners if they wanted to do the 1080p 60 frames per second thing. So I guess corners were cut, but the HDR hides how bad the textures are. But just walk up to a wall or a door or a rock or something like that and check out the textures. They are terrible. They are very low quality. Very low quality. They're pixelated and everything. You don't really notice it until you look. You know, like I said, I played in HDR, and y'all already know the effects of HDR, right? Anything that's supposed to be dark or black is black. Anything that's supposed to be bright is bright. So in HDR, the house is like, you know, it's not lit that well. It's like a real dim type of look. So everything is dark. Like I could barely see. Like I was watching some videos on the PC version on YouTube, and I was like, damn, that shit bright as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see everything without HDR, but with HDR, you know, where it's supposed to be dark, it's dark. Where it's supposed to be light, it's light. That's the effects of HDR. Give it a more natural look. And that shit definitely hides them terrible ass textures, but it also sets the tone for the atmosphere, and it really puts you in like a fucking spooky ass place. But I have fun playing the game. I don't know if the replayability is very high for me. I have no desire to actually go back through the game. I have no desire to do like a speed run or anything like that. I'm not a trophy whore. So getting a speed run trophy is not really something that I find to be fun. More like a fucking chore. You know, so I'll be moving on. I'll be moving on to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I already started. It's cool for what it is so far. I should be able to finish it. I really don't like starting games and not finishing them. But is this game worth $60? I told you I don't think it's worth $60. It's available at Redbox. Take advantage of that. You can get it on a Friday and complete it in one weekend. Easy. easy. I mean, if you got a half of a fucking brain, you can definitely complete this shit in a weekend. It took me 8 hours. Like I said, I took my time, a little bit more time than I probably should have. But I don't have no desire to go back and get different guns or unlock different shit. I think I died around 20 times, I want to say. A lot of that was just me forgetting that, hey, you're fucking hurt. How about you heal yourself? One more hit, you're dead. You know, shit like that. But other than that, I think it's a cool game, man. It's entertaining for a weekend. It's definitely entertaining. I think it was good. It's good for a playthrough. Like I said, for me, the replayability is low. I have no desire to go back. I already looked up the other ending. I got the true ending or the best ending or whatever like that, and I already looked up the bad ending. So it's really not different. So I don't know. That's all I got to say about it without spoiling it too much, man. I think it's worth a playthrough. I just don't think it's worth $60. I would say wait for a sale. I would say wait until it's about $29.99, something around there. Shit, maybe even $19.99. It's really no reason for you to rush. It's a single player game, so it's not like when you finally do get to it, you're going to be way behind. I would wait. Shit, they might even come out with a Game of the Year edition or a definitive edition or something like that with all the DLC. I would say it really ain't a big rush to play this game right now, man. But yeah, that's about it. It's a good Resident Evil, man. I think it's better than Resident Evil 6, definitely. It's not better than any of the first 3, 1, 2, or 3. I don't think it's better than 4. 5. Is it better than 5? They're kind of 2 different games. You know what I mean? Like once we get to like Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, we kind of treading in different territories now. I also don't like the controls in the game either. The controls are pretty sluggish. I guess when they said we're going to take it back to their roots, I guess they was like, yeah, make sure the controls are shitty too. Yeah, because that's going back to the roots. And at times that shit was frustrating me because of the controls, but you'll adapt, you know, if you're, you know, a gamer or whatnot. Is it better than 5? I like Resident Evil 5. That wasn't a bad game. It's definitely better than 6. That game is garbage. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to compare it to 5. For real. It's kind of hard to compare it to any Resident Evil game, honestly. Gotta compare that shit to like Outlast. Is it better than Outlast? Yes, it's better than Outlast. I would say it's better than Outlast, but one is like an indie game and one is a full-fledged AAA experience. So I guess that goes without saying. But yeah, I would say it's better than Outlast. I don't know if it's better. It's hard to compare it to the Resident Evil games. But it's worth a play. Give it a shot. Go to Redbox, save yourself some money, or wait for a sale. Wait for a sale. Other than that, that's all I got for y'all on the spoiler-free Resident Evil 7 my review. This is all I got. A lot of people ask me, should they buy it? Is it worth $60? It's not worth $60. It's a rental. Or wait for a sale, or wait for a bundle that comes with all the DLC, Definitive Edition, Game of the Year Edition, whatever they decide to call it. You can wait. But if you want to go out there and drop 60, you ain't got no problem. Your bank is like that. Then go ahead. By all means, go out there and drop that 60. But I will wait, man. But anyway, that's my review for Resident Evil 7. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. It's your boy Hard8. If you enjoyed the review, you already know what to do. Hit the thumbs up, man. Or hit the thumbs down. Whatever. But whatever you do, man, busy yourself, nigga. Busy yourself. Your boy Hard8, man. I'm gone. I'm out of here. Deuces. Did I just hear a motherfucking noise in the kitchen? What the fuck?